with trust, with vulnerability, with hope. They didn't have to fight you because you were already reaching out, looking for connection, looking for truth, looking for something real in a world that felt too cold, too shallow, too fake. And they saw it. They saw your light. They saw your openness. They saw your honesty. And they didn't admire it. They targeted it. They didn't need to overpower you. They just needed access. Not to your body, not even to your heart at first, but to your mind. Because once they're in your thoughts, they can live there. Undetected, unchallenged, untouchable. They don't control you with shackles. They don't control you with threats. They control you with ideas. Tiny ones. Seeds planted in silence. Doubts whispered, never spoken. Questions left unanswered just long enough to make you question yourself. That's how they did it. That's how they controlled you. Not with violence, but with influence. Not with fear, but with familiarity. Not by taking power, but by making you give it. They built the illusion slowly. They earned your trust, not to keep it, but to use it as a shield, so that when the damage started, you'd still defend them. No chains, no prison, just suggestions, just ideas framed a certain way, phrases crafted to sound loving, but sharpened just enough to cut, silences that didn't feel natural, but left you begging to fill the space. They didn't speak in commands. They spoke in tones, in pauses, in glances, in carefully timed moments that told your nervous system, you're unsafe, but it's your fault. They didn't scream. They didn't hit. They didn't even need to lie outright, because the best manipulators don't lie. They just leave out enough of the truth to make you wonder if maybe, just maybe, you misunderstood, and so you stayed, and so you questioned yourself. And so they won, over and over, without ever raising a hand. They didn't have to trap you. They just had to make you think you were free. Because when someone walks into your life and makes you feel seen, makes you feel understood, makes you feel chosen, you lower your guard. And when your guard is down, everything they do starts to feel normal. Even the manipulation, even the subtle shaming, even the slow erosion of your identity. They don't need to fake the whole relationship. Just the beginning. Just long enough to get you hooked. Because once you're attached to the idea of them, to the version of them they created just for you, you'll do the rest. You'll explain away their red flags. You'll fill in the blanks. You'll excuse the inconsistencies. You'll wait. You'll try harder. You'll give more. And they'll take and take and take. The performance? It was flawless. The way they laughed. The way they opened up just enough. The way they cried at the right moments. The way they looked at you like you were the only one. Whoever really saw them. It was all part of the script. Polished, rehearsed, performed, and you believed it. Of course you did, because that's what good people do. They believe in love. They believe in growth. They believe in second chances. They believe in the story. But it wasn't real. It was never real. Not to them. To them it was just leverage, just psychology, just emotional engineering, just another role in another play. They've acted in 100 times before. And you were just the newest co-star. So number, they never needed your permission. They never needed force. They didn't need to fight you. They just needed access to your mind. And once they got it, they built a house inside your head and called it love. But it was never love. It was a system, a design, a manipulation so invisible you didn't even know it had a name. But now you do. You didn't see it happening because they didn't want you to. And they're good at that. They study you, your habits, your weaknesses, your silence, your hunger to be loved. They watch and they wait. And then they move. Not all at once. Subtly, strategically. They make themselves everything you need. Supportive, vulnerable, charming. Flawed, just enough to feel real. They don't love you. They mirror you. They say what you need to hear. They make you feel like you're the answer they've been searching for. But it's never about you. It's about what you can give. Your time, your energy, your reputation, your silence. You give and give. And they take. Effortlessly. Endlessly. And just when you notice something's off. Just when your gut whispers, something's not right. They twist the story. They turn your instincts against you. They flip your reality. Suddenly you're overthinking, overreacting, too sensitive, ungrateful. That's how they trap you. Not with power, but with confusion. They build a world where you question you, and they never answer for what they've done. That's emotional manipulation. It's not loud. It's not violent. It's quiet. It's clean. And it's everywhere. The rich do it. The poor do it. The charming, the broken, the religious, the political, the influencer, the friend, the lover, the leader. Anyone who needs control but doesn't want to be seen taking it. And behind it all, you'll often find narcissism. Not the flashy kind, the deep kind, the cold kind, the one that feeds on admiration, on fear, on obedience. These people don't want love. They want control. They want power over your thoughts, your choices, your freedom, without ever getting their hands dirty. So they smile, they cry, they play the victim, they play the hero, they make you doubt the pain they caused, and they make you apologize for it. This is how they win, until you see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You realize the patterns. You hear the manipulation. You watch them lose power. The moment you stop playing your role, you weren't crazy, you weren't broken, you weren't dramatic, you weren't too emotional, you weren't overthinking, you weren't weak, and you definitely, definitely weren't the problem. You were targeted, intentionally, calculatedly, silently. You were chosen, not because something was wrong with you, but because something was right with you, because you cared, because your heart was open, because you listened when others talked, because you offered compassion, even when you were the one hurting, because you believed in people, because you gave chances, because you saw potential in places others ignored. You were targeted, because you had light, and they wanted to dim it. You had warmth, and they wanted to drain it. You had loyalty, and they wanted to own it. You had hope, and they wanted to twist it into something that served them. They didn't come for your weakness. They came for your strength. They knew you wouldn't walk away easily. They knew you'd stay, try, fix, understand. They knew you'd hurt yourself just to keep the peace. They knew you'd shrink before you ever made them uncomfortable. They knew, and they used it all. But now you know too. And that changes everything. Now you stop explaining yourself. To people who refuse to hear you, you stop begging for honesty, from mouths built to lie. You stop handing out grace. To those who treat it like currency, you stop folding your worth, just to fit into rooms that were never built for you. You stop shrinking, to make others feel tall. You stop editing your truth,